Welcome to At the Comic Shop, hosted by Hometown Comics in downtown Edwardsville, Illinois. We're going to start with Marvel's Ultimate Avengers Comics Volume 3, Issue 1, which features, if Blade is around, that means there's vampires. And vampires are attacking superheroes. The Avengers in the Ultimate Universe are looking to kick some butt. It's a 6-issue series. It's written by Mark Millar, so unfortunately that means it will probably take another year or so for the 6th and final issue to actually ship. But, you know, I think it'll be worth the wait. Art is by the amazing Steve Dillon. You'll know him from The Punisher and Preacher and many other awesome stories. Invincible Iron Man, number 29, written by Matt Fraction and art by Salvador Larroca. It's a really awesome story, especially if you like the Iron Man movies. Salvador Larroca has a great way of storytelling with his art. The only downside for me on a personal note is the fact that he draws Tony Stark to look just like the actor that played Sawyer on Lost. And it pulls me out of the story a little bit, but he's an amazing artist and I'll give him that. We've got Daredevil 509, and that's part of this big Shadowland story that's been going on. We have the Hand causing trouble all over the place, and Elektra is taking out a bunch of them. Luke Cage and Iron Fist get involved. Robert De La Torre's art is really, really good. Superman 702. This is the 2nd issue, and he meets actually another alien that is on the planet as well. Superman isn't sure if this is a good alien or not, so it's interesting how this all comes about. I know that he has something big planned for later in the series, so I'm looking forward to seeing where this, the first issue of a spin-off of Green Lantern. It's Green Lantern Emerald Warriors, featuring Guy Gardner, Atrocitus Ganthet. Guy Gardner has been in some pretty dark places. In fact, during the Blackest Night, he actually succumbed to his rage and became a member of the Red Lantern. And he starts spewing that acidic blood vial or something that all the Red Lanterns are spewing all the time, which is really crazy. But it's a lot of fun how he ended up getting purged of all his rage and became a Green Lantern again. But as you may see by his pupils and also in the story, he isn't completely done dealing with his rage. It will probably always be an issue in his life. And this is a great first issue. Pier J. Tomasi has been pretty much hand in hand with the great Jeff Johns in telling these Green Lantern stories. And Fernando Pasarin's art is really good, so if you're looking for an awesome first issue to jump onto, definitely pick this up. Batgirl is just pure fun. This is issue 13, and here you have Stephanie. You see a little bit of her civilian life, but of course duty calls and she puts on the Batgirl costume, and this time the villain is Clayface, and it's a lot of fun for only $1. Dungeons and Dragons. It's written by John Ronsers and art by Andrea DeVito, who's done a lot of work for Marvel and others. There's not just one cover, there's actually a second cover, a third cover, and if you went to Gen Con, there's a 4th cover, retailer's incentive cover, which is an awesome, awesome cover. IDW is doing some awesome stuff these days. Being a long-time D&D fan, I am really looking forward to this and seeing where it goes from here. Everybody loves The Walking Dead. This is issue 76. Issue 75 left everyone on a big shocker. What the heck was going on? Well, not too much of a spoiler because pretty much everyone figured out what was going on. That was kind of a dream sort of thing. Anyways, basically he wakes up and things are really not good for Rick. He gets basically schooled on how things are going to work in this new community. It has a surprise at the end for Carl, and which is going to leave a lot of explaining on Rick's part to help Carl deal with what he has just witnessed. That's going to be a hard issue for Rick in issue 77. Lock and Key is a really cool issue also from IDW. This new series is titled Keys to the Kingdom, number 1. Joe Hill has proven himself time and time again to be an amazing writer. Awesome stuff. Collaborator and artist Gabriel Rodriguez does an awesome job, not just his regular style of art, but also very purposefully mimicking Bill Watterson's awesome Calvin and Hobbes, but kind of as an homage to his amazing work. But they use that as a tool in telling this story, which is a really good story. So if you haven't picked up Lock and Key yet, I highly recommend it. The very first issue just recently came out as a reprint for only $1, so come on and get an issue number 1 for $1. Everyone loves Futurama. Issue 50 just came out. The gang has to deal with Mom and her minions, and it is absolutely awesome. We have a poster. Get issue 50, you get this awesome blacklight poster. I have to hold this up. There we go. Check that out. Isn't that awesome? Get that, hang it up in your room, throw up a black light, and trip out. There's a couple of collected editions that came out recently through Dynamite Entertainment. We have Leah Moore writes this awesome, very literal adaptation of the book of Dracula by Bram Stoker. So it really gets into all the details that you would hope to find in a Dracula story. If you've read the novels, you will see that it's just an amazing adaptation. Really nicely done. The art is really cool. And they have a preview of their next adaptation, which is Alice in Wonderland. So if you like Dracula, if you're a vampire fan at all, you've got to read this book because it's very good. A darker version of a Dracula of sorts, titled Impaler. Now, this is really cool. It's very, very violent. The military is involved. There's a lot of really freaky vampires that, if you've read 30 Days of Night, they're almost even scarier than those vampires. Pick up Volume 1, and then you know you will have to pick up Volume 2. It's just everything you want in a really good vampire story where the vampires have just taken over. The transformation after getting bit into a vampire takes a lot less time, and people who turn into vampires are very grotesque and menacing with crazy razor-sharp mouths. Now, fans of Coheed and Cambria know that Claudio Sanchez has been writing a comic book for several years, mainly focusing on his the stories that he tells with his songs. Now, a long time ago, they had the 2 issues that they only gave away at concerts. The Second Stage Turbine Blade. This includes this awesome edition. It has the original 2 issues that are long since out of print, and this is actually through Boom Studios, which reprints both Emery Wars 1 and 2, as well as those 2 issues, and a whole bunch of concept sketches, cover galleries, and a bunch of other fun stuff, all in this deluxe hardcover. And the last collected edition we have is Chew, the Omnivore edition. It's just a really freaky, weird, fun book about this guy who gets psychic impressions from things that he puts in his mouth and chews up, and he can know all the dirty secrets of the people that prepared it, where the food came from. He works for the Special Crimes Division of the FDA. It's fun, it's gross, it's hilarious. The first issue is already up to like $60 because I think they didn't really print that many, but word got out about how awesome this story is, and people were just snapping them up all over the place. They went to like 4 printings on this series. But this is the Omnivore edition, and it is much larger than the original comic book format, so the art looks awesome and all sorts of fun. These are the Batman Reborn action figure set. Azrael, Batgirl. There's a lot of great detail on these. Jason Todd as Batman. Two-Face as Batman. They're a lot of fun. If you've read the series, you know how awesome it is. Coolest thing on this review, well, this is a special series that has all 9, which includes the white one in the center. Now, the really cool special thing about this is that each and every single one of them, there's a key that you can actually use to stick into the back of it and toggle the ring so that when you slip it on your finger, the ring lights up. That's right, these rings light up. This is available. We have several in stock, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We'll be happy to set you up. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, subscribe, and like our videos, and you'll be glad you did. And also check out hometowncomics.com, and we're right here in downtown Edwardsville.